Hi guys, I would like to welcome you to a new deck profile video of what I like to deem as McDonald's Sakuya build. Now, as you know, Sakuya wasn't always the best in locals, but I think she's really fun. I recently had a match with my friend Reiji VT, and we just were playtesting out decks up against Galantmon, which is an OTK deck. And I won a few rounds, so I can showcase this, I think, on my channel. First off, we're going to start off with the eggs. I think it's pretty clear what egg we're going to use. We're going to be using 4 of the Viximon, not just because we're all Sakuya nerds and we love the whole point of Sakuyamon herself, but mostly because of the inheritable, we could draw 1 card for search. My deck is quite interesting, I'm guessing, with some of the things that I run. One of them is the Patamon from starter deck yellow. I received the starter deck ages ago from Reiji himself, and it's really helped me a lot. The good thing is that when something DP reduces to 0, you gain a memory, which comes very much in handy because this deck really works really well with inheritables. Next up, our other level 4. I'm sorry, I went into a different kind of order. Kaze for game, no need to explain. You might need it in clutch sometimes and give your opponent the mistake that you actually don't have the upper hand, but then do a hybrid. Of course, for other level 3s, we're going to be doing the Renamon from BT10, always a good one, searching for options. And the good thing is that, and I mark, that it says search for a yellow tamer and add it to your hand. That's going to come in use for us later. Next one is the other Renamon from EX2. You get to search for anything in the Renamon Sakuyamon line and also add Rika into your hand. So that's always good. Now we're actually getting into our level 4s. We play 4 of the Kyubimon. It is a requirement that you have to reveal top 3, so usually I don't find myself decking out with this deck, but you have to be careful when using this card. The next one, of course, is the Kyubimon from BT10. I just find like the BT10 cards are really, really pretty. And it says you may activate this effect, so if you don't have an option card in your trash or an option card in your hand, then you don't have to worry too much about activating the effect. You can just use it as a body in order to get to Kyubimon quicker. Level 5s are interesting. We're actually running 3 Rise Greymons. There's a reason why I play 3 Rise Grey. My deck, or I consider Sakuyamon deck to be very tamer heavy. It relies so much on tamers because without your tamers, you can't play your option cards because of the color requirements. So, when you Digivolve, first of all, with Rise Grey, it almost has the same effect as the Talmon, where you get to choose a yellow tamer, though, in this case, instead of just Arena, and be able to play it from game. And even better is that the inheritables is when you have 3 or more tamers on your field, get security check +1. So it's a bit more of an aggressive build, because I find that Sakuyamon can be a little bit slow. So you need inheritables that are going to be very aggressive. Next one we're playing one of the BT10 Talmon. I just feel like you already play a lot of option cards for free and have a lot of draw power, so I don't really use this one as much. So I feel like keeping it to 1 is okay. And then I play 3 of the Talmon is when Digivolving, you get to play a Rika for free. And it's always come up, it's always been great. By turn 2, I have a Memory Tamer, and yeah. Then I know that I can kind of go into my Sakuya unless they decide to do something like some kind of Megadeth. But why would you waste a Megadeth on a level 5? Level 6 is Sakuyamon herself from EX2. I'm only running 3. And there's a reason for that, mostly because I feel like when you Digivolve... So basically, if you were to Digivolve into MAID mode first, you can swing and then Digivolve into this Sakuya for 1, get an option from your deck, which you probably just used either by using MAID mode and swinging, not the one that you would put on security, and then you can restand your Digimon and swing again, and if you have another Rika, play another option card. I feel like it's good just for a bit more spice, but I don't rely too heavily on the EX Kuyamon. And the next one that we've got is 4 copies of MAID mode. I chose MAID mode especially because yellow kind of shines the most in terms of recovery. So I think MAID mode is very important, where when you Digivolve, you can use that option card Let's say if you decide to use the jamming one, put that on top of your security, then you could swing, tapping Rika, play, let's say, the security +1 option card, and then you could do like easily 2 checks, especially if you have 3 or more Tamers, and the Rice Grain Heritable. So you could even do 3. Really, really good. Extremely broken, as they do say, the DP Queen. But yeah, I just feel like there could be some things in it that could be adjusted. And we're coming up to our next level 6. I'm actually using this Sakuyamon because I knew I was going to be facing up against an OTK deck. So if I had a Sakuyamon that has -3 security tax, I know by next turn I could still swing with Rika if I wanted to. And also all of my opponents get -3 in security, -3,000 I should say. So it's a really good card that helps. I know a lot of people aren't running it, but I would consider it if the OTK kind of format is still a bit prominent. Digimon's in a weird situation now. We're not going to highlight that in this video, but I feel like this card is very good for this deck. It's a Sakuyamon, so once you do search Sakuyamon in its name and you're all G. Now, I have 2 suggestions for people. Basically, in my practice, I was running Venusmon. I actually did Digivolve into Venusmon, and my opponent couldn't do anything because the checks get basically negated and they can't defeat this. I also decided to try and run DeathXmon. Funny enough, DeathXmon didn't really come up besides being in security. So when he went with the security and then this baby came in and deleted itself, but I feel like I did enjoy the Venusmon tech more because the opponent couldn't do anything, they were frozen. Whereas with DeathXmon, there's still a bit more of a higher cost. I know everyone's gonna say, yeah, DeathXmon's in every deck. And I'm like, yeah, that's okay, but I think we also need to step away a little bit from that player idea that we need DeathXmon in every deck. So I would actually run the Venusmon just because it's a really nice yellow one. You have the option of using the Venusmon option as well. That is all of our Digimon. So let's go into our option cards because we do have quite a few of them. We have the high-speed memory plugin. Now, you would be surprised how little option cards with plugin that you have to run in this deck because a lot of the time, there's definitely a lot of effects that you can just bring them back from your trash and reuse them. It kind of has a little bit of a purple deck thing where you can just kind of bring back stuff from what died, but instead of Digimon, it's option cards, which I really like. Next, we run the black plugin option card that was introduced in BT10. I only run one of these. I see people running 2. I just find like it's a very high option card, and unless I'm playing it in effect, there's no use. Or if I have dwindling security, then I might be able to use this, but obviously it's a last kind of minute resort for me, and I kind of feel like I don't use it too often. Because this is more of an aggressive deck, I do run 2 of the offensive plugin A, just because with my Rise Gray, like I said before, I can go into jamming, I could swing multiple checks, like I even did like 2 or 3 checks in one round, just by having this one and this one, so it's pretty good. Another underrated option is actually the green plugin. The green plugin is when you play it, it's draw 1 card, and you also get to free Digivolve. So I find that Sakuyamon really shines when it has 2 bodies in the field. Let's say you just brought one out of Raising, it's a level 3, swing with Sakuyamon. If you know your opponent is like, let's say a D-Brigade deck, and it probably won't have too high of level 5s or 6s, then you know you can swing confidently, play the option card for free, Digivolve into your other card for free while Rika's a memory tamer, and you just keep going. It's like a really little bit of a loop, and I find the green one is very well. Now we're gonna go into all the option cards. I did say this was a McDonald's security deck, and you'll see the reason why. 1 Sunrise Buster. We do have a little spice of tomato sauce in our burger in this. So Sunrise Buster always comes in handy. Yes, you need 2 sources, but I will tell you what those 2 sources are. So you know there's 1 yellow tamer you can kind of play on your field for free, and then -3 KDP. My opponents have hit this in security, then the next Digimon they do, they die, and then I also have the option of just hard playing it because of the Digimon Tamers that I play. And I'll show you which one. Oh, and also, I play 1 Holy Flame. Another tech which you can use is use the Venusmon option card, which was released in BT10. I just think Holy Flame's a little bit better, and I had the access to the standard deck. But if you don't have the access to it, then definitely try the Venusmon option, because if you run Venusmon in your deck, it's really good. Lastly, let's go into the Tamers. Obviously, we're going to be playing 4 of the main girl, Rika Nonaka. Oh, sorry for the glare. Rika is just a boss one, like, it's not just a memory tamer, but you can suspend her and always, like, just try and add, like, an option to whatever Digimon is swinging. But mostly, of course, everything has to be in the Sakuyamon line. So if you do Digivolve into a Rise Greymon that turn, and not a Sakuyamon, then you're kind of in trouble. But usually I don't find that as a big deal. I just know I have to just Digivolve into a Sakuyamon, play a Tamer for free, and yeah, Bob's your uncle. The last Tamer we do is that I feel like this deck kind of goes really hard when it comes to Tamers. That's why I play Tai and Kairi, and it really complements this deck very well because, like I've said with the Rise Grey Inheritable, you get to play a yellow Tamer, and technically this is both yellow and red. Sunrise Buster, I did showcase it, but I feel like it doesn't come up as much, but these guys come up so often, and it helps me really well. The reason I play it being, if you have 3 or fewer security cards, gain 1 memory. If your opponent has 3 or fewer security cards, gain 1 memory. So let's say you have Rika on the field, and then they pop this in your security. You have like 3 security left. Then that means that you not only get 3 memory from Rika, you could get even up to 4 or 5 memory just by having those 2 on your field, because you play it for most of the cards that you've Digivolved from, most of the Rise Grey, I should say, and the Sunrise Buster if you do end up hitting it, which is really, really good. So I feel like you need more than a team of Rika. There was another card that I actually wanted to add, which is the TK and Kairi from BT6, I believe. I think that's a really good tech because I was going to add it in and probably take away a Patamon, but I could not find the card in time. But this is kind of like the deck list that I went with. So guys, that's it for the deck list. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate also your support in the Mastermon deck profile. It was my first one, and I didn't expect people to have that much of a reception, so I'm really grateful for that. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and look forward to more deck profiles in the future. See ya, Cubs! Have a good one. Hi guys, thank you for checking out this video. Make sure to also check out Gamers Rush, the store for all your TCG needs, and get 10% off your first order with Reggie support.